everybody, today I'm going to tell you guys how to tell the difference between every iPod Touch, because a lot of times people mislist iPod Touches, as I found out when I got an iPod Touch second generation for my birthday when I asked for a first generation, because my first generation iPod Touch does not work, and that's the second time that's happened, as my mom ordered one of my second generations thinking that would be a first generation, but wound up being a second generation. So as a result, because of that, I just wanted to make a video clarifying how to tell the difference between every iPod Touch if you're going to list one, because a lot of times Apple collectors, who are the people who are buying these, do care about them all, and I understand these iPod Touches all kind of look similar. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started with the first iPod Touch. Now, how you can identify this is by the big rim on the bottom right here, which isn't present on any other iPod Touch. And also this corner antenna, like it's not like this on any other iPod Touch. So as a result, and also the plastic rim on the screen, like these are clues to tell you this is a first generation. Now, the second generation and the third generation visually look almost identical to each other. However, there are still some key differences to tell these two devices apart. The primary difference is that you have to look at the storage labels to figure out which iPod Touch model it is. If it's 64 gigabytes, then it is automatically a third generation, and if it's 8 or 16 gigabytes, it is automatically a second generation. However, among the second generations, there is the MPB models and then the MC model. And so the way to distinguish between an MB and an MC model is if MBC models are only 8 gigabytes, so if your second generation is 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabyte, then you won't have to worry about this. But if it's an MB or PB model, then it'll have the larger storage text. So if it's an MC, then it'll have the smaller storage text. This is also a way to distinguish between second and third generation if they're both 32 gigabytes. So if it's got the smaller storage text, then it is a third generation iPod Touch. Next up, we have the fourth generation iPod Touch, and this visually just kind of looks like its own thing. Like, it's still got the same chrome design as the first 4 iPod Touches, but it has cameras. So that's the easiest way to distinguish a fourth generation. And if it's white but it has a chrome back, then it's definitely a fourth generation. Now, the easiest way to distinguish a normal fifth generation iPod Touch is if it has this little button on the bottom left corner, which is to attach a lanyard loop. However, another way to distinguish an iPod Touch fifth generation is that that there's also a weird 16 gigabyte model that was a budget model that had no camera on the back, and then is also a fifth generation. And the sixth and seventh generation iPod Touches are almost identical to each other in terms of physical differences, because they come in the same color finishes and everything. So you have to look at the text. And if it's this font, then this older style Apple font, then it is a sixth generation. However, if it's a more modern Apple style font, then it is a seventh generation. And there are other touchscreen iPods that aren't touches, being the now sixth and seventh generation. So yeah, sixth generation kind of looks like a shuffle, but isn't. So that's the easiest way to tell the sixth generation apart. And the seventh generation just kind of looks like this bar, but is a lot smaller than an iPod Touch, as you can tell. So that's how you can tell the seventh generation apart. But as always, thank you all for watching this video. I'm the iTunes Fanboy, and as always, peace out.